Welcome everyone to Natural News. I'm your host, Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, and today we're talking about superfoods, and joining me in the studio today is the founder of one of the top superfood companies in the world. They're called Living Fuel. The website is livingfuel.com, and the founder is with me here. His name is KC Craichy, and his wife, Monica. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Now, how did you get started with this company? It's so successful. People are so excited about your superfood products. How did it begin?
Well, it started by Monica, who was Miss Florida, competed Miss America, and Miss Florida USA competed at Miss USA, got third runner-up and first in swimsuit. Now, I tell you this because on the outside, she looked amazing, the picture of health. But we oftentimes don't realize that the outside and the inside may not be the same. And so within a few short years, we were married. She looked just the same, but she came down with panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, and clinical depression. And so the only thing we did was we went to her regular doctor, and they sent her to another one, and they put her on Xanax and Zoloft and those kind of meds and psychotherapy. And within a couple of weeks, we knew that this was not the route for us. So I made the commitment at that point that I was going to dive in the literature, and I was not coming out without an answer.
And so this became your answer, the Living Fuel
This
approach.
was a piece of it. This was a piece of it. As I write my book, we worked through this 10 years of research, trial, and error. She made great strides early on because I thought it was all about nutrition. And so we did everything we knew nutritionally, and it didn't get her all the way there. But as I continued to research, I found these other areas that didn't have anything to do with nutrition that really impacted the whole picture. And that's what I write about in my book, The 7 Keys.
The fun thing, though, real fast about the product is that during this time of Casey trying to find out nutritionally what was wrong with me, he would go to the health food store, and he'd bring home chlorella and greens and proteins and put all these things together on the kitchen counter. And he was like, man, this would be so good if all this was in one can. This is really kind of a pain. So that was really the catharsis of him coming up with our first product, which is the greens.
And then when you were starting to take these superfoods in, were you able to get off of all your medications, and did all those other symptoms go away?
Yeah, the medication I was only on for a couple of weeks because we both knew that was just like a Band-Aid over a problem and it wasn't solving it. So the meds weren't really in the picture, but it was a slow progression because we had so much to learn. We really didn't know where to turn, and so it was all kind of by trial and error.
But that's a very intelligent approach too, because remember, a lot of people get on medications and they think, that's the solution for life, and they don't think about it the way you did, which was, hey, that's just a temporary situation. Let's find a way to solve the underlying nutritional problem, which is what you did.
Well, I'll assure you, there's no one out there with a Zoloft deficiency.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay? Right.
So, we knew right away that wasn't it. Monica hasn't taken a drug in 14 years. This was, nor have I, obviously. So drugs are not the answer. They can be a Band-Aid in a period of time, but they're not the answer.
And now your entire family, you have 5 children, I understand, are taking Living Fuel on a daily basis, right?
Yes.
That's right. In fact, it's the ultimate baby food also. I mean, it was in the womb, obviously. Pregnant women really need this level of nutrition. And we actually wrote an article called Super Pregnancy a while back that's really popular because it talks about all the pieces you need, and it's all in there.
Oh, we could do a whole show on prenatal and nutrition and what's necessary. I think your product has the kind of formulation that could drastically reduce birth defects and enhance the immune system health and even the reproductive health of future generations here in the world, in fact. You have an incredible formula. Now, one thing I do want to make people aware of is that there are a couple of different formulas available here. You can go to the website, livingfuel.com, and find this formula. There's also a super berry formula, and there are some other products that are worth mentioning. I want to ask you about this one called Living Fuel Super Essentials, which is a healthy combination of oils with a little bit of astaxanthin. What's the strategy behind this product, Casey?
When I built Living Fuel Super Greens and Super Berry, I wanted to include omega-3s, but they're so perishable. To put a fish oil in a product like that would make it rancid, and people would be getting something that's not good for them. So we did put in the product chia seeds. Now, chia seeds, as you know, is the highest concentration of omega-3 of any plant, including flax. And the interesting thing is they're whole chia seeds, and you wet them and they become mucilage, and they digest even in an infant without teeth. It's pretty amazing. So that's important, but there still is a need. If you follow the literature, the fish oil is the one thing you can take and make no other change in your diet and have a radical change. But what people don't understand, and particularly if you work out, I mean, an athlete could have 20 times the respiration as a sedentary person. So 20 times the oxygen equals 20 times, roughly 20 times the oxidation potential in the body.
Sure.
So if you take high-level fats like omega-3s, which are critically important, and you don't take fat-soluble antioxidants, the risk of lipid peroxidation is there.
Well, we've seen this in athletes. I see it in the gym all the time where people are working out, they're stressing their body, they think they're doing something good for their health, but if they don't follow up those workouts with great nutrition, I've noticed they age more rapidly.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that athletes, I saw a study out of London here in the last month, that athletes are the fastest growing segment of malnourished population for two reasons. One, they think that they can overcome poor nutrition with exercise. Yeah. And two is that they believe that all the sports supplementation they're taking keeps them from needing to go to the foundational nutrients.
And a lot of those sports supplements, I'm telling you, the ingredients in there I would never recommend to anyone.
Well, the thing about the oils too, though, Casey, tell them why you put the astaxanthin in there. I mean, this product really has a lot to brag about.
Well, you know, again, when we built this product, we wanted to recommend somebody's oil. So I looked in the marketplace to try to find somebody that had a good one. I can just say, hey, go get that one. And as I understood this issue about lipid peroxidation, I said, well, it's really not out there. And so I went to develop my own oil. We went to one of the largest fish oil providers in the world, and wanted to buy the concentrated oils because somebody out there started calling something pharmaceutical grade fish oil super concentrated oils. And I said, well, that'd be pretty cool. People have to take less capsules to do it that way. And so this provider provided that and the regular version. Now, first of all, we knew we wanted to go with the sardines and the anchovies because they're on the front side of the food chain and haven't had a time to get as polluted as a lot of the bigger fish. So we went with the sardines and anchovies. But we found that when they concentrate that oil, I asked them, how do you concentrate the oil? And the answer was pretty scary. They break it out of what's called a triglyceride, which is a natural concentration of the oil, the natural form of the oil, and they put it back, they concentrate it and put it back only in what's called an ethyl ester. So it's an esterified oil that's supposed to be a triglyceride. So all these concentrated, super concentrated fish oils are really a pharmaceutical. So when they call it pharmaceutical grade, they really are, because we don't know what the long-term effects of that are. Now, probably people would be better off taking those concentrated oils than not taking any of them, but we don't know, frankly.
But your format keeps it in its natural state.
For one, that's one thing. It's a flash molecularly distilled. We start with the ones that aren't polluted to start with, and then we have flash distillation to make sure they're totally clean, certified free of mercury and cadmium and PCBs and all that sort of thing. And then the importance of oils, when you take a lot of oils, which the literature certainly backs up, you got to take a lot of fat-soluble antioxidants. So what are the best? Well, what do you see most in fish oils out there is a little bit of vitamin E. In one fraction of vitamin. Now, vitamin E, as you know, is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, tocotrienol, and tocopherol, right? Which they put one fraction in 1 milligram or 1 IU in a whole gel cap. Okay, that is really nothing. So that keeps it from spoiling in the bottle. But our intent was not to keep it from spoiling in the bottle. We wanted to keep it from spoiling in your body. So we put all 8 fractions, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, tocotrienol, in form of a rice or rice bran oil, along with the sardine and anchovy oil, and combined it with vitamins D and A from fish, not from a supplement company. Okay, so it's the same levels of DNA you would find in cod liver oil, and you know all the problems with cod liver oil, taking liquid oils and all that sort of thing. But we gave the same levels of DNA, you know, the power of D, and all the things that D does in the body these days. And A and D work very well together. And then we added GLA, because GLA is the only omega-6 that you're really going to want to supplement. Omega-6 are essential also, but people are getting omega-6s from everywhere, you know, peanuts and whatever else. So GLA, when you combine it with the EPA of fish oil, actually magnifies the anti-inflammatory properties of the fish oil and causes prostaglandin 1 and 3, not 2, which is arachidonic acid. So it's a highly anti-inflammatory. And then we added astaxanthin, which you're a big fan of astaxanthin. Yes. Astaxanthin is 50 times more powerful than vitamin E itself. It also crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's a brain antioxidant, eye antioxidant. It's a tremendous natural from red seaweed.
I like to tell people it's a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it rides on the healthy fats that are in the supplement and then gets those into your tissues. Now, we're about out of time for this segment, but I want to thank you both for joining me on the show today. And I want to remind everybody at home to check out the website livingfuel.com, where you can learn more about these products. You can read Casey's book. You can inform yourself and empower yourself, and that's the key to staying healthy. Thanks for joining me on the show today here on Natural News. Stay empowered, stay informed, and we'll talk to you again soon.